For 24 months, Tracy Richter Roberts has been behind bars for a crime she did not commit. See, Tracy Richter Roberts was framed by a man hell-bent on making her pay. What did he have against her? Quite simply, she didn't want him anymore, and she wanted him to pay for what he had done to her and their children. This is the amazing story of a murder-for-hire plot designed to take down an innocent woman. Furious that he's about to be cut off, Michael Roberts comes up with a devious scheme. Watch.
Continuing now with our story of a deadly home invasion targeting a mom home alone with her kids. That mom has been called a hero for protecting her children from violent intruders, one of whom she killed. Now, questions are piling up about who orchestrated the attack.
See, after his paid assassins failed, Michael Roberts uses his knowledge of law enforcement to cover up his murder-for-hire scheme with made-up evidence. For years, Michael Roberts and his patsies feed the police fabricated clue after clue. 10 years later, Michael Roberts' business associate, Ben Smith, is elected prosecuting attorney, and the frame-up finally takes place. This is the story of the Planet Pink Notebook. Michael Roberts learns from police and neighbors that a shooting took place at his home, and that his wife and 3 young children have been transported to the hospital. Realizing his murder-for-hire failed, Michael races to the crime scene to plant the pink notebook and alter the crime scene before crime scene photos are taken, several hours later. Things like this don't normally happen in real life. Only the movies, unless the chief law enforcement officer is willing to lie. Listen to Ben Smith knowingly lie about the pink notebook to Dateline NBC.
Investigators had always kept the journal top secret. That's why the prosecutor lost it one night when he was talking to Tracy's old friend, Mary Higgins. He told her the investigation had been reopened.
He said something like, there's more to this than what people know. And I said, do you mean that stupid notebook? And Ben he just turned white.
Should Mary Higgins have known anything about the existence of a notebook in this case?
Nothing about it. And I was leaning against the wall to begin with, but I did get lightheaded because, as far as I was concerned, that was it.
Prosecutor Ben Smith and his star witness Mary Higgins lied. They each knew Dustin Weedy had authored multiple journals and notebooks, which referenced killing and the last name of Pittman. The public documented the inventory from Dustin Weedy's car alone lists 2 notebooks. That is 3 notebooks in total, all known about in 2001. See, Michael Roberts knows cops. He knows when a murder attempt is made on a wife, home alone with her children. The husband is not a suspect, he is the suspect. Michael, upon learning that his murder-for-hire scheme failed, learns that his wife and 3 young children have been transported to the hospital. He also learns one other thing, that the crime scene unit and crime scene photos would not be available for a few hours. Michael then rushes to the crime scene, plants the pink notebook, and alters evidence. To err is human, but it takes a rare breed to wrongfully convict an innocent mother of murder for your friend. In 2003, 8 years before Smith and Higgins' false claim of a secret notebook, the Weedy estate filed a civil lawsuit claiming wrongful death after Dustin entered the house without permission. They named expert witness John C. Caton, who has top secret clearance, and based on his training and experience, would testify with a reasonable degree of certainty Dustin Weedy was attacking Tracy when she shot Dustin, and Tracy's actions were consistent with a person protecting herself and her children from the attackers. The suit against Tracy was dismissed with prejudice. Dismissal with prejudice barred the Weedys from bringing an action of the same claim of wrongful death of Dustin. A clear victory for Tracy. It takes one hell of an ego to live the kind of double life Ben Smith and Mary Higgins created for themselves. All of it built on lies. One day, inevitably, it's all going to end in a giant, flaming train wreck. But Ben Smith is so blinded by pride and lust, he can't see the trouble dead ahead. The notebook that Michael Roberts planted at the crime scene never could frame his wife for his failed murder for hire unless people knew it existed. Based on information and belief, Michael enlisted Dr. John Pittman to garner the crime scene photos from Mona Wheaty's attorneys. Remember, Michael Roberts was at the crime scene a day before the crime scene unit arrived. He knew the exact photos he needed for his patsies. So when he writes to get the crime scene photos from the civil trial, he asks for all, A-L-L, all the photos. Does all still mean all? Including the photos of the pink notebook he planted. For several years, I've been observing the business practices of Michael Roberts, the founder and owner of Mile 2, Rexxfield, and AuthorizedStatement.com. I even contemplated being his business partner until they launched an automated cyber assassination, cyberbullying campaign against children. I learned a lot about Michael and his character after I called law enforcement in Iowa over evidence that Michael orchestrated a deadly home invasion against his wife and children. Michael then sent me an audio recording of him and his Rexxfield operatives' potential plans to have me killed, notwithstanding his threat to have me arrested if I had set foot in Iowa to testify at the Tracy Richter trial. His decision to target me is a game changer. This video is a brief expose on how Michael Roberts makes millions of dollars and profits through other people's pain. Those being people who have been victims of Rexxfield, what they term Google side. Michael sits back and rakes in the money. Michael and his friend Ben Smith don't like what I'm doing, and I don't blame them. But it doesn't justify their attacks against Ripoff Report and Ed Magedson.